Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to a brand new episode. Yeah, dude, I'm taking it back to the beginning, hitting you guys with a classic. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to a brand new episode of Drag the Leg. I'm your host, Andy Malafrina. With me, as always, the late, great Pat George. How you doing, Pat?
Andy, I'm just doing lots better than you bitch. How are you doing?
Oh, much better or lots better?
Lots.
Well, I'm doing way better than you.
3 times as better than you, but anyway, it's not a competition, but I win. But anyway, Andy, how's your weekend been, bud?
My weekend's been pretty good. Went to go see my wife's cousin's baby boy. That was a nice day. Children are fun.
There's got to be a better name for that, right? Isn't that like nephew?
No, because she's not my cousin.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think he's my step nephew.
I think he's a step neph.
Is that he's my step neph?
Either a step neph or a double cuz.
Double. Yo, dude, get out of here.
Yeah,
get the fuck right out of here with that nonsense. You're goofing off way too early in the pod.
You got step neph and double.
Yeah, nah, dude, but I crushed it. I wore my fucking Mickey Mouse shirt. Ironically, we walk in, the whole house is littered with Mickey Mouse bullshit. I was crushing with this kid. And then apparently he's a big fan of beards. So you got this big bearded monster coming in with a Mickey Mouse shirt. I was just fucking doing work.
You must have looked like his imaginary friend.
Oh my
double cuz that you?
He was asking me to go on like hella adventures with him. Now that I think about it.
Handhold and like the drag, like the
he was just like, come through this portal behind my bookshelf. Double cuz.
Okay, you got it, step neph.
And that's not even you doing an impression. That was just me talking for all the audio listeners.
You were on nitrous at the time. So I
was like, I'll fly with you, step neph.
I have a question. Did he do the thing that I'm always afraid of if I wear a band shirt that I'm not familiar with? And did he go like, what's your favorite Mickey episode? Like, the one where he's on the fucking boat.
He's like, oh, you wear a steamboat? You wear a steamboat? He starts like throwing out fake references. He's like, oh, do you know Interstellar, Mickey? And I'm like, oh, that's my favorite one. Ha ha! That's not a thing, you fucking asshole.
You're a fucking poser, dude. Take that shirt off. Yeah, pop that shirt off and jump in this portal for me.
And I'm just like crying, like, double cuz, no, double cuz.
Yeah. So what are we talking about, Andy?
Well, now that I realized I let down step neph double cuz, I don't really have anything to live for. What do you want to do?
Honestly, if we're jumping off buildings, I'll come with you. You know what I mean? Literally every time my mom asked me if everybody jumped off a bridge, would you? I go, yeah.
They're like, are they like super fucking cool?
So either live on the planet Earth alone or die with everyone else. I think I'd die with everyone else, please.
Would you want to live alone or do a fucking sick bridge jump with a bunch of people?
If I could snag a corpse, if it was warm enough. Now, you know what? I'd go off the bridge too.
Hell yeah. Thank you everyone for coming back, hanging out with us. This is Drag the Lake.
The internet's #1 music podcast.
That's a fact. Don't check. Don't look at the views. Don't do fucking nothing. Just hear the words we're saying. Watch the things we do, and just fucking go with it.
Watch us.
But yes, thank you for coming here. Thank you for hanging out. Definitely hit that subscribe button. We talk about mostly heavy music, but not exclusive to. I dropped a sick Run the Jewels Quattro review. Did you see this, Pat?
I did not see the review yet, but I love the Quattro.
Did you listen to it?
You personally suggested it to me. Like, not only did I get the suggestion video form on with your takes and everything, but I actually got a personal recommendation from you. Ooh. And that's the one I listened to.
All right, I'm gonna have to ask you about that. But yeah, just a reminder: listen to the podcast, do all that stuff, subscribe, all that shit. And if you don't like a rambling and you want to jump ahead to actual topics and shit, we do put the timestamps down below. But anyway, let's hop into, actually, we will not be rambling because I do want to ask you right away, how'd you feel about RTJ Quattro? And for the listeners, actually, if you didn't catch the YouTube video yet, what that is basically Run the Jewels did a whole remix album. They've done it before with Meow the Jewels, which all respect for the joke and the process and everything involved in making that, but that was a rough listen. I didn't get very far in Meow the Jewels, which did you know what that was?
I'm gonna do a fucking reaction video to your shitty take on that, bud.
Do you know what Meow the Jewels was?
Of course I do. Meow the Jewels is like, I don't know if you could tell, kind of a fan of cats. and I am. Oh,
Wait, no, you do yours. You do yours.
oh, you got. Oh, yeah, that's right. You should salute these cats. My cat is, by the way, is zooming around. I think she did some cocaine. There is I gave her cocaine. I think she finished it, is what I'm saying. But I, I think with Run the Jewels, the especially the Meow the Jewels album, is I love dedication. That's why I like fuck, I can't remember his goddamn name. Who's the guy that died? The guy. You remember? Fuck.
The guy?
Yeah, the guy, he just died. He died
Oh,
not just, but before. He died from before.
Take off. Yo, he didn't die as we were recording.
Oh, I don't think so. I'll remember it later, and that'll be a great reference. But
You talking about Takeoff?
No, no, it was somebody that I wasn't even familiar with until he died, and then I was like, he's really good. He's the new Tupac guy. He was the guy who everyone was calling the new Tupac. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
XXX
Tentacion?
Nope. How many people refer to as do you get it?
He didn't just. Oh wait, you were saying just died?
No, but not just. I mistakenly said just died, but he died a while back. Anyway,
Pat, words need to mean something.
He's always talking about dedication. That's what I'm saying. Dedication, hard work, perseverance.
Oh, okay.
Again, that reference is gonna kick as soon as we find out his name. Obviously, I'm not very familiar with a lot of rappers or anything like that. I'm mainly the mainstream stuff. So I found out about Run the Jewels from you, and it became an instant fan. It's like I can't narrow down a favorite song or anything like that, but I love the fact that they have, like I said, dedication to their art form. With Meow the Jewels, they showed dedication to another favorite thing of mine, which is silliness. Anytime a rapper or a hip hop group or anything like that can have fun and not necessarily have it be a joke. That's the thing. I love the Lonely Island and shit like that. I like Weird Al, any kind of parody shit, but I also like when rap can be self-deprecating, like Little Nicky or something like that, or Little Dicky. I said Little Nicky.
Yo, dude, you trying to talk about rap is so fucking funny.
Legitimately,
because every two words you're like, no, sorry, excuse me.
I'm like Trump talking to Lil Pump. Lil Pimp. Yeah, Lil Pimp, right? Anyway,
it sounds like you're trying to tell me your favorite quote from Django and keep forgetting to not say the N-word. Like that's how you're like dancing around it, where you're like, oh wait, no, oh sorry, oh God, oh man.
It's more of a fan. Like, I'm a fan of the guys in Run the Jewels, but I'm still not familiar. Like, I would still feel like such a phony going to their show or wearing a shirt or something like that, because I'm not that.
Would you feel like a phony going to their show?
Yeah. Because
what does that even mean?
Because of the fact that, like, I don't know what to do. I don't dance. You know what I mean? Like, if I go to a punk show, I know I can either run around in a circle, sing along to the lyrics, fist pump, do that shit.
You think when I go see Run the Jewels, I'm just like do like, no, dude, I
don't you have to dance?
I jump around and I sing the songs.
I'm so unfamiliar with hip hop and rap.
Yo, I will say this.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do at the shows. Do I have to have a certain number of a level of bagginess? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to wear.
Bagginess?
Yeah. Like,
Pat, did you stop listening to hip hop in 06?
Yeah. I think so.
You're just gonna.
I never really started. When was Outkast big?
You're gonna show up in a fucking quadruple X shirt and a fucking backwards football jersey.
Thank you.
And you're just gonna walk in. You're like, "Hey guys, who's ready to get crunk?
Hey, you kids ready to rap? Let's do it."
And then you're just gonna see a bunch of fucking teenagers strung out of Xanax and fucking skinny jeans. Like, what are you?
It's one of those things that, like, if I share a rap song, I'm terrified that somebody's gonna name check something or be like, "You don't name 3 other, like, anything else." I don't know anything, and I'm done trying to pretend like I know. But I'm trying to give a serious review to a cat-themed rap album that I love.
Pat, you need to transition into just accepting adulthood. You don't have to feel embarrassed when you start accepting adulthood.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. Because that's the thing I realized. Because I've been on this journey to find out if there's adults. Because that's a big
I don't feel like an adult, by the way.
No, you don't. We
Okay.
shouldn't. You have a cat curtain behind you, and you're wearing a band shirt. Adults don't wear band shirts.
Band shirt. This is a shirt from Bloodsport, my friend.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Check it
All
out.
right. Well,
I ain't your pal, dick face.
all right. Well, still,
sure I'm not an adult.
All right. It's not a band shirt, but it does say dick face. So my original point still stands. You were like, Andy, you're being ridiculous. Anyway,
whoa. Hold on a second.
My shirt says dick face.
You are misrepresenting me, sir.
Yeah, dude. You're wearing a dick face shirt. I'm wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt while we record our fucking metalcore podcast. We're not adults.
We're talking hip hop right now.
we're talking about hip hop on our metalcore podcast.
You listen to the Run Jewel song? Yeah, I liked it. Please don't ask me why.
Please don't ask me to go into detail. But no, adulthood is I realized adulthood is being okay with adulthood is being okay with being lame when it matters.
Oh.
You know what I mean? We're being lame when it's okay to be lame, when it's important to be lame. So, you know what I mean? So cuz like what?
Like so being like comfortably lame?
Yeah, but you know, so like adulthood, I'm trying to think of a good example.
Just say adulthood a couple more times.
Adulthood, I'm just gonna say it till fucking a conversation pops into my head.
Adulthood, Pat.
Yeah.
Okay, so adulthood,
like, okay, perfect example. Making sure okay, when you get to a certain age and you start like intentionally throwing in, you know, healthier food, and you just don't do that self-destructive like, I don't give a fuck shit, I'm just gonna eat McDonald's and like laugh about feeling like shit, and you're just like, well, no, the name of the game right now is not dying young. So like I get it, because it's like, don't get me wrong, I love to goof off.
Oh yeah,
I love to be a bit of a goofball.
I've noticed.
And get into hijinks.
Oh, you're a fella that loves a beer and a pizza too.
I love a beer, a pizza, and a full day of goofing.
All goofing.
But at the same time, you know, you gotta accept certain realities of the situation. You gotta realize, what game are we playing? And you're like, are we playing Die Young?
Yeah.
Or we're not, because here's the thing.
You know,
I'm not playing Die Young. I didn't put my fucking quarter into that machine.
What's young? I think I even messed that up somehow.
What?
What's young? Because I think I even messed that up. Because I have not been eating well. Like I've lost weight and I'm not sick, but I've just started exercising more than I eat like shit. So it kind of like I just realized the thing you're saying right now.
Yeah.
I not just realized, but like last year or the year before, I was like, oh, like butter's bad too. or like liquids and shit like that, where you're just
not to get into a whole thing, but I've been reading up on you hear these seed oils.
Mm-hmm.
There's an argument that it's like, you go back to the butter. These seed oils are nonsense, but the verdict's not out, so I don't want to. And I also didn't do a shitload of reading on it, so I don't want to act like I'm the fucking authority on seed oils. But a lot of people are talking bad about seed oils.
Perfect example of what you were talking about earlier, not being afraid of being a dork, or what were we saying? Being lame.
Yeah.
This is the perfect example of it. You're talking about seed oils right now.
Yeah. Seed oils aren't cool.
You've done reading on seed oils and what to cook your food in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of those things where you're like, yeah, but it's also for self-preservation.
Yeah, it's because I don't want to, here's my thing. I've made it to 32, almost 33, and I'm substantially more dumb than I'm comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
So I need more time. I need a lot more time.
Yeah.
So
a lot of time too.
So I'm just trying to be healthy.
It's a Miller, but it's a Miller Light.
Exactly.
Very much.
Light.
Thank you. Okay. So this is what I'm saying is, like, if I were to go to, like, I don't know if I would enjoy myself at a Run the Jewels show because of the fact that
this is healthy. I'm a dickhead with a gallon water bottle.
This is all rubbing alcohol.
Actually, that was another thing that made me feel like an adult today. Is we went to go. I was saying earlier we were hanging out with my, what was it, double cuz step neff.
I was
hanging out with my double cuz step neff, and we went over there kind of early. Which that made us feel young. They were like, you get here at 10 a.m. And we were like, that's the earliest time of the day everyone's ever said on a Sunday.
Yeah, come on, what are you
And
doing?
then we got there and we were like, that wasn't hard at all. We were being children.
Yeah, 10 a.m. is not that bad.
No. But we got there and then I just drank a bunch of water. I mean, I drank a bunch of coffee beforehand, didn't drink any water till about 3 p.m. today.
Boy.
It severely affected my energy for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
probably gonna give you kidney stones, you fucking. Speaking of old guy shit. That's one of my biggest fears. I used to be scared of getting like beat up at a show, and now I'm scared of getting kidney stones.
Yeah, but you can also too, like, that's like your excuse to get like blackout drunk and super high, because then you can pass the fuck. Yo, can you imagine?
Now? Or
what? No, when you
yeah, what's my
dude, you're afraid of kidney stones. Get fucked up right now.
Terrified right now.
Pat, why are you drinking so much? I'm so fucking afraid of kidney stones.
I'm scared of sinkholes and kidney stones. Grasshoppers.
No, dude, imagine imagine passing a kidney stone on mushrooms.
Oh my god.
How crazy must that be?
Oh my god. I was just talking about being at the if we were at the fights, like the UFC fights, Madison Square Gardens on mushroom. Did I say Madison Square? I just pluralized Madison Square Garden.
Which one were you at?
Oh, is it just the one in New York? Yeah, ever been that? It's
that's my favorite Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. So that was the one where the UFC was last night. And if I was at a UFC event on mushrooms, I think that would be. I was like, I think I would be fine until somebody got like flatlined, like till somebody was like, like face down on the mat, like kind of out. I would probably, that's probably the time. So like anytime there's a fear of something's not right.
Yeah.
So kidney stone, I couldn't imagine as soon as like I would imagine you would feel like your dick was like betraying you.
Yeah. You're like
trying to saw itself off.
You would probably think your dick is a portal to hell. And and that's where the kidney stone's coming from. And you're probably going to get scared of passing the kidney stone because you're like, I don't want to bring these fucking hell minerals to Earth and like end this world and end this existence we know.
And normal, I don't know if you've ever tried to have sex on mushrooms before, Andy, but it felt, at least in my case, it felt like my penis wasn't even a part of my body. So maybe that'll be a benefit. But it doesn't necessarily. So that also means I don't know how much control necessary. It's not like I'm like pissing and shit myself. But I don't know how much control you have.
You're just sitting there. You're just sitting there in your own piss and shit, being like, you want to fuck me?
How do I stop this?
You want to suck my penis?
Are you turned on right now?
Are you horny, baby? But wait. Back to Meow the Jewels. What was the crux of your you don't know how to dance to kitty music? What was the crux?
Oh my god. My issue with the whole thing is just essentially just feeling awkward, not cool enough to like hip hop.
Here
we go.
So my thing,
I figured. See, we just worked it out. I actually figured out what my inadequacy is about listening to hip hop, because I used to think it was just the fact that there was a use of the N-word and the fact that a lot of times I can't sing along with it. So so I'd go like, oh, that's probably why I listened to more Action Bronson or Little Nicky. I did it on purpose that time. Fuck
you
off.
Can actually no, I would suggest hum alonging, but when it gets to the N-word, just watch how your eyes look.
Yeah, don't look too excited.
Or just
anyway, another word. I don't use that one. Yeah,
you're just hanging out with your friends. You're like, why does Pat scowl every time they say the N-word?
So I was hanging out. I just can't. Like, it's like, and I can't censor that much in the moment. And it's also like, and I also had him feeling, hey, it's not for me. Maybe it's just not meant for me. You know what I mean?
No, there is a huge. I
like Meow the Jewels because it was the self-deprecating. It was the, it's great music. I love Run the Jewels.
See, I don't think Meow the Jewels. Here's the thing: Meow the Jewels to me wasn't self-deprecating. It was the fans calling their bluff.
Oh,
do you know how it came across? Do you know how it came around?
I didn't question it. I just heard that there was a cat like hip hop album, and I ran to it.
Well, let me. So fast you stumbled and hurt your nose.
I fell down. It hurt really bad.
No. So let me break it down for you, Pat. Can I break it down for you?
Break it down. You want me to give you a beat?
What the fuck was that?
I thought we were gonna do hip hop now.
Oh no, dude.
Okay.
We gotta. What are we doing?
You told me to do that, Andy. You told me to be comfortable being stupid or something. What'd you say?
You know what? I was wrong.
Okay.
Be self-conscious.
Put it back in. Okay.
Oh, put it back in.
What up, Andy?
Build the walls back up.
What the fuck up, Andy? Just give me some facts, dude.
Whoa, that's a secure man. That guy doesn't have any underlying sadness.
Am I scowling enough?
Let's talk. What are you listening to hip hop?
Yeah, Andy, I love it. I'm fucking hard, dude. I like Little Yachty. Don't even question me about it.
I would never, dude.
The first album is my favorite. The early stuff.
What's it called?
Yachty 1. That's what I call it. I don't even know the name.
It's okay. No one thought you knew
bootleg.
I bought it from a guy in a parking lot.
Yeah. At an Everclear show.
What?
I mean, at a Little Baby concert.
That's a rapper.
Yep.
Did you mean Da Baby?
It's all big. Yeah.
What you meant? I was very curious. I was like, he means Da Baby, and got lucky that Lil Baby's a rapper.
Oh, there's also a Little Baby.
Yeah,
Da Baby.
You meant Da Baby. You like Da Baby, right?
There's 2 of them.
There's Little and there's Da.
It's so see. Okay, that's another thing, Andy. Anytime I say duh, you know what I mean? Duh, baby. It just
baby.
I just feel silly saying it.
You look silly.
There you go.
You're a silly boy. So let me talk about Run the Jewels so we can drift away from the whitest conversation ever.
Break it down.
Of just being like, wait, there's Da and Lil? What are these rappers doing? God, we're the crackiest crackers to ever crack. I'm ripping myself off from last week when I was talking about Ian MacKaye. Because in the clip I say he's the punkiest punk to ever punk. Yo, I'm a hack. What's up, boys?
Hey, it's your catchphrase.
Yeah. So let's talk the talkiest talk we've ever talked. Oh yeah, Run the Jewels. So Meow the Jewels is they had a pre-order. What it was is they had a pre-order for Run the Jewels 2. And on the pre-order, they had a bunch of tiers. So and shout out to Run the Jewels, every single album they've ever put out is free to download. And then they'll have pre-orders where it's like, I'm just making up prices, but $10 pre-order, you get the CD, $20 pre-order, you get the vinyl, $20 or $30, you get the vinyl and a t-shirt, and then so on and so forth. And then they got crazier and crazier. Let me see if I can look that up. It may actually be on their website. But
website?
Actually, no, it's not probably up. But anyway, it got crazy. They would get crazier and crazier and crazier. And there was literally one where it was like, if you spend like $20 million, Run the Jewels was like, we will quit rap and never release the album. You know, it was like, and they literally had 20 of these ridiculous ones that they're like, no one's ever going to do this. And one of them, I believe it was either $20,000 or $50,000. They were like, we will make a remix album that is entirely of cat noises.
Oh, so this wasn't just a thing. Like, this wasn't just a thing that they had that they did.
No, because I remember LP posting about it, being like, you guys better fucking listen to this, because this is brutal what I'm having to do right now. Like, can you imagine? Because if you listen to Run the Jewels, like, it's one of the reasons why like LP is one of my favorite producers, because he puts because a lot of rappers, or I'm sorry, a lot of producers, they'll have the beat, they will have a loose melody, and then they will have the 808 to sort of cover the bass. Yeah. And that's a lot of mainstream rap. It's not overly complicated. It's not that it doesn't take skill. You know, I'm not saying I could just fucking, if I learn the program, I could just fucking pull a hit out of my ass, but structurally it's very simplistic. If you listen to LP shit, there's like layers upon layers, but it doesn't sound overly busy and it still sounds streamlined and it still sounds very fucking fun. So to take that and transfer it into cat noises sounds absolutely fucking horrible to try to produce. And so that's why I say earlier, this was Run the Jewels goofing off, and the fans got together and did a GoFundMe, I believe, or an Indiegogo, one of those things, I believe. They got together, did one of those. It was Run the Jewels being like, we're just goofing around, and it was the fans calling their bluff.
Yeah.
So the fans raised whatever it was, 20, 50K. And yeah, Run the Jewels were like, well, shit. Now we have to do it.
So I think I think I even like that a little bit more, because they could have just been like, well, we were joking. Come on. You know what I mean? But the fact that, again, the dedication to silliness is something that I respect in every, like, especially something like that. Did I ever tell you the about the fart song that I made? It was actually a song where I rap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was my attempt at rapping.
Was it just you like about to rap and then you're like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not cool enough. I'm sorry.
No, it's I actually used a lot of modulation to try to really make it sound not like me, so I wouldn't be self-conscious about it, but doing it like in the moment, even though it was just me and one other person. But it was a song, it was a labor of love, and it was a night of farts that we recorded and turned into implemented into the beat, much like what you're saying.
Yeah,
not at the level of this at all. So, but at the end of the song, there's a big a crescendo of farts where the beat itself basically is all constructed and composed of actual real farts recorded that night.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It used to be the outro music for intro and outro music to the Gross Domesticated podcast, but
I was wondering about that because I remember the times I listened to GDP, I would hear the farts. Yeah. And I'd be like, oh, is that the rap?
It's the rapping song, and it was it's something along the lines of my farts being like a tiger in the grass on the prowl, and yeah,
it's beautiful.
It was really poetic, really. I didn't mind. Actually, I've actually pursued a couple of times rapping, but it's just not good. It's just never good.
Yeah,
but the dedication, I do understand that. And for a whole album of that, of all of the instrumentation replaced with cat noises, right? Because that's what it is, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It's like all cat noises.
So yeah, I love that. And and to be honest, a couple of those songs are on my playlist. But
really, Meow the Jewels?
Yeah. And it's not a joke. I actually like the songs.
See, I should be the over the top fanboy that is like, I don't care, like even that is fucking good. But that's a thing. It's the same way I felt about Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman, everything he did was like, except actually when he was wrestling the women, that was really funny. Because it was just him being a fucking troll.
He was the perfect heel.
It was so goddamn funny.
He was the best. Honestly, if he's not in a wrestling Hall of Fame as the world's greatest heel ever,
yeah,
that was incredible.
So Andy Kaufman, so besides the wrestling women stuff, a lot of his jokes, actually, I remember watching the Mighty Mouse thing too, and kind of like not knowing what the fuck was happening, but still being like, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
But like a lot of his jokes were funny on paper, but if I were there to actually watch the joke, I'd be like, because like I remember someone telling a story, and someone telling a story about it. They're like, oh, he did this crazy thing at this like open mic, and he basically showed up, set up a drum set, and then like hit one beat, and then took it down, and then left. And you're just like, yeah, but that also like it was an open mic. Oh, so he wasted everyone's time,
right?
Like all the other comics or whatever. You're like, oh, like he's kind of a dickhead.
Did I ever tell you my Andy Kaufman like thing like that I thought was like, oh, this would be funny to do at a.
This is so clever.
I never did it. Yeah, I thought this was the cleverest thing. It was like because I have an acoustic guitar. Any white guy in his 30s.
Yeah, quit bragging.
And it's got stickers on it. I was like,
is there a
oh,
pick stuck inside of it?
yeah, the strings. Actually, no, because that's bad for it. But I keep it up near the.
Do you want to hear? He's like, you want to hear my opener? It's just you like clank, clank, trying to get the pick out.
No, I was like, oh, this would be really funny to bring up a guitar, because I was at the time I was hosting a mixed mic, which was like music, then comedy, music, and comedy. And I was like, oh, wouldn't it be funny one of the weeks I'm not hosting, or I would just come up and do the mic. I'll bring the guitar up and I'll set it down. And I'll start my set, and then at the end of the set, I'll just pick up the guitar and I'll walk off the stage. Like I'll never even address the guitar whatsoever. I won't talk about it. I won't play it. I'll just bring it up, set it down, do my jokes.
And that was your big clever idea.
That was my big clever fucking Andy Kaufman. Look how daring I am.
And then you thought about it for 2 seconds, and you're like, no one will give a shit.
Nobody. Like it was so unfunny to me, and I was actually, this was a big turning point, because I was like, okay, good, I'm not a fucking shitty hack. I'm not an idiot at this point where I'm like, I have some sensibility of like, would I laugh at that? And I was just like, no, that's fucking dumb.
It's borderline nothing. It's
and then I was
it's like borderline.
Wait, what if I wear it and I just don't play it? And I was like, no, so stupid. People are gonna just think, because if I bomb and I don't have the guitar, they'll be like, he never played the guitar. The guy sucked.
Well, it wouldn't even. It wouldn't even register.
Right.
You would get off stage and people are like, wait, did he not play the? All right, whatever. Like you would get next to nothing of a reaction.
Anyway, next guy, you know what I mean? Great,
yeah.
mic, you get 15-minute sets because like, so it would be like 15 minutes when I was not supposed to be doing 15 minutes at all.
Bad my other Andy Kaufman thing I remembered, where it was once again on paper really funny. He would like, it was when he was like super popular and he was like trolling the crowd more.
Yeah.
And he would go up and he would just read like Pride and Prejudice or something like that.
The whole thing. Yeah.
Well, he would read a lot of it and the crowd would start booing, and he'd be like, oh, well, he's like, if you're not going to appreciate me, then I'm going to get out of here. And he would like put the book down and then hit play on a tape recorder, walk off, and it would pick up where he left off reading. And you're like, that's funny on paper, but you're also like, I just picture the one dude in the crowd like, yo, dickhead, I got a sitter tonight. And you're just doing this horse shit. You got fucking $50 tickets. I drove an hour and a half to get here, pay for parking, pay for a fucking sitter. And you're going to read a fucking book? Suck my dick. Like, that's the other part of my brain where I'm just like, hey, dude, don't like, you know what I mean? Like, do your shit at a wrestling show where it like makes fucking sense. Don't wait. Like, I hate when people, it's like when comics at open mics would always make that joke where they'd be like, oh, I just, you know, or I'd talk to comics about like why they like doing comedy, and they're like, well, I just like a setting where people have to listen to me for 5 minutes. And you're like, no, don't fucking hold them hostage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a whole that's a whole other issue that you have to like work out in your personal life.
Yeah.
Just being like, I just love it because I actually it's forced human interaction.
I love forcing people to do things they don't want to do. It's awesome. It's amazing to make people hold people hostage.
Yeah.
But I think something like that would be, again, it's funny, but I brought up the same fact against, speaking of Andy Kaufman, of like not giving you your money's worth or not making it fun. Like it's a little too avant-garde for us. We want to see something funnier or entertaining. Was the tickets for the UFC event like at Madison Square Garden this weekend were like, because I looked, they were astronomical. Like it was crazy. And in one of the fights on the main card, one of the gentlemen just kept doing an Imanari roll. He essentially kept attacking the leg. I don't know if that was actually in the main card or not, but it was essentially, he was not as skilled. It was against Dan Hooker. And every time he could not strike with him. So he was essentially every single time just trying to get it to the ground any way he could.
Okay.
Failing terribly.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, at this point, because they were booing him, and I was like, they should absolutely be booing him because, dude, I paid fucking $800 for nosebleeds so I could watch this dickhead roll around on the fucking mat.
Are nosebleeds seriously $800?
I can't remember the exact price, but it was something like, I think the starting price or something like that was like $300, but then
Yeah.
it sold out so quick. It was rough, dude.
So I've never been to a UFC event, but I've heard enough people talk about it, and I've kind of like done the math in my head, and I've realized I'm like, dude, unless you're cage side,
Yeah.
the view, it seems like a horrible experience.
I would have loved to have been in the building for it. The same thing with the Andy Kaufman thing. In retrospect, even though I would have been pissed in the moment, or I would have been like, these seats suck, or I'm just watching Jumbotron anyway, to like feel the interaction and feel the reaction, especially to be at a prize fight at MSG. That would have been incredible. But
yeah, okay.
That's the only time I would have gone. If it's like at fucking Dickhead Arena in Pittsburgh or some shit, I'm not gonna go to that one. I don't
Are you talking about First National Dickhead Arena?
Oh
in
yeah,
Pittsburgh,
yeah.
PA?
First National bottom out. It's First National Dickhead Arena now.
It's weird they called it that. It really doesn't help the experience.
They don't usually keep the old name, but you're right.
I will say this though. Whenever you have a bad time at First National Dickhead Arena, you are like, well, I am at Dickhead Arena. What did I expect?
First National Dickhead Arena. So what did I expect?
Long story short, definitely go check out Run the Jewel RTJ Quattro. But anyway, I have to take a thick, hot, steaming piss. We will be right back. And we're back. Sorry for that weird long pause. I couldn't hit the pause button quick enough. But we're back, and that's all that matters.
What up?
Empty. I'll raise your awkward pause and give you a more awkward pause.
Hi.
No, we are hot, fresh, less piss in us, ready to podcast a little bit more.
Yeah.
Pat,
we did our usual podcast in the break podcast, which is great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I think we've break podcasted way more than we've actually podcasted. It's crazy.
If I'm being honest, I think I like that podcast a little bit more than this one.
But yeah, it was too hot for air. It was not ready for pressing. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I believe there was a little something that you had to be a gander,
Yeah, let's move on because we were talking a lot of business. And but what do you want? You wanna laugh at you wanna make fun of a dork, or do you want a Dance Gavin Dance update?
Oh man.
You know what? Let's get the Dance Gavin Dance update out of the way, because I gotta be perfectly honest. I'm over this shit. Just fucking play your fucking music and just God fucking damn it. I'm sick of this goddamn drama and trying to be a fucking half-rate fucking moron detective.
Yeah.
But we've been talking about it. We've been the premier, Dance Gavin Dance sleuths. Yeah, so we should update the people. But apparently we were talking last week. I missed out on the opportunity to take advantage of the algorithm. So I did not post a clip, but we did see a video on the Dance Gavin Dance subreddit. Basically suggesting it was Andrew who was their fill-in lead singer when Tilian was healing from his goofing around.
Right.
And
he was goofing about.
He was in the healing process of being too much of a silly goose.
Yeah.
And he finished up a set and he was just like, all right, it's been a pleasure. Sitting in. This is my last show as the singer of Dance Gavin Dance. All that stuff. And then Tilian broke his silence, and I just want to update you guys with what he was said, and be curious about what you take on this. Is Pat? It's a bit of a long haul, so we will fucking tear through it. But he basically posted. Well, there was a post from Dance Gavin Dance that I actually saw first, so I want to read that. But they go, wait, where the fuck? You know what? Fuck that. Tilian. He goes, I wanted to update everyone on what has been happening during my time away from Dance Gavin Dance when the band was dealing with the tragic loss of one of our brothers, throwing out the dead friend up top.
Yep.
Get that fucking right settled in people's minds.
Get some sympathy going. Get some sympathy frothing up in these fools.
Yeah. Ooh, you reading this? You on the fence of how you feel about me? Dead friend.
Guys, remember how sad you were? I was
Yeah.
twice as sad because that was my best bud.
I was double secret probation sad. It could have brought.
Man.
I killed a horse in the dean's office. I was so sad. It could have brought us together, but instead, it sent me down a self-destructive path. What'd you do when you were there, Tilian?
Oh.
I've spent the last few months in a rehab program for alcohol, alongside an intensive series of therapy sessions to reassess my life and how I want to live it. It became clear to me and my bandmates that this is what had to happen for me to continue with the group. And I will, no other reason. I just was looking at the alcohol and was like, yeah, dude, I got to make a break ski. And I will always, what?
Oh, this is tough. I probably should go to rehab.
Yep. It's all about alcohol and not a lot of other stuff.
Nothing else.
Nothing. I will always appreciate their understanding, support, and the time that they have given to me to get my life together. I hate the power that I've allowed alcohol to have over my life. What'd that power make you do, Tilian?
And what did you do? What kind of power?
Yeah, dude, when you got that power up inside of you, what then happened?
Yeah, what happened with all the power? How did it let out? How'd you release the power? Is one thing. Like when you had all that power pent up, like with the alcohol and everything, like where'd it go?
Yeah, what happened next? What happened next? Just tell me.
Just honestly, just one sentence. If you could just one sentence in here. Somewhere in here. But I was like, I was so drunk all the time and I had all this power over alcohol. Therapy.
I want to apologize to the band and all the fans of Dance Gavin Dance and assure you that my mistakes are purely my own and should never be a reflection on the other members.
What mistakes?
It's also important for me to address something that has been twisted and misrepresented during my absence from the band.
And you in this statement.
Yeah. The work I have done on myself and my substance abuse issues have nothing to do with any kind of sexual misconduct. That's weird that you had to say that.
Yeah.
I have never.
All of this was unrelated to that.
Yeah. I never had sex or any kind of intimate relationship without the consent of a partner. I hope this clears up the events of the last few months, and I'm excited to reunite with the band and see all you on the road in 2023.
Big sigh.
Big sigh. Pat, how do you feel?
I feel like that was a non-apology, dude. That was he's maintaining his innocence.
I will say this. Wait, let me double check
he's not saying that he didn't do things that were unsavory sexually. He's saying that he had consent from all of his partners, which is like, I feel like, so that's, when you want to tell the truth, but you don't want to tell all of the truth.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you can have a consenting partner that then doesn't consent to all of what you're doing. So like if there's a situation where he's talking about, I felt like I had so much power, the alcohol had such power over me, it's like, and again, I don't want to, I honestly, I do not want to, this is genuinely, I don't want to genuinely discourage anyone from going into like any kind of rehab or anybody in recovery, but to say like the alcohol had
don't be a pussy. No quitters.
Stop quitting.
Stop quitting.
Sorry, I'm just trying to talk more so Andy can drink some more of his Miller Lite.
Actually, it's a Goose Island Pounder.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's an IPA. I apologize.
Let me take a couple sips so I can say how I really feel.
Hear it. Yeah. Anyway,
because I was being a fucking pussy about my opinions last week. Dude, that kept me up at night when I was being a pussy about Blink-182. I was like, who gives a shit? I was like, I just want to be fair and I don't want to upset Mark or Tom or Travis because they possibly could let me fucking suck their dick at some point. And I don't want to not be able to suck their dicks.
I don't think Travis, but maybe Mark or Tom. Probably Mark, but it would be a joke. But Tom, it would be love.
Yeah, Tom would definitely. I feel like Tom would be the best dick to suck in Blink-182. He would make you feel the best about it.
And ironically, I think he would joke the least. I think he would be a gentle lover. But this other fella from Dance Gavin Dance may have done some more chicanery than we thought initially, because he's very vague in a lot of situations until the end where he's like, by the way, I never assaulted anyone.
Here's my thing, here's my thing, and I want to make this very clear. I do not, based off, because we've talked a lot about this, but based off the information I have, I do not think this is a fucking SVU in the bushes, violent sexual attack.
No.
But it's become such a thing that if we're gonna be doing fucking bro, he took the time.
You're making us speculate more.
But here's the thing. He took the time to type out white text on a blue background. That's not a fucking iPhone notes. That's not nothing. Like my whole thing is if you were just going to rehab, for alcohol, why would you be this wouldn't be such a fucking thing, you know what I mean?
You also don't.
There's obviously another thing. So it's and I'm saying this as a fan that wants to be on your side. I want to. I love the band. Yeah. I think Tilian's a great singer. I think he's very talented. I'm just this doesn't put a lot, in a guy who is very inclined to want to believe you and want to be pro you guys. Yeah. This doesn't put a lot of confidence in me, man.
This instills no confidence in any of your fans whatsoever, because anybody that has been supporting you, for you to just this is a situation that unfortunately this is where we are. And if it wasn't such a known trope, and at least from what I remember, in a lot of situations where there is sexual assault and substance abuse, the substance abuse was always the thing that was addressed as the problem that was the problem for everything. And it's okay, but you still have to
wait, can I cut you off? Are you trying to say this is falling in line with an old trope of someone who's avoiding the main issue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
I agree with that.
This is essentially saying, I'm Mel Gibson and I said a bunch of crazy shit to a Jewish cop. I'm gonna go to rehab.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is rehab for saying crazy shit while you're fucked up, but we're
getting drunk and screaming sugar tits.
Yeah, sugar tits and all that, the Jews start all the wars and all the shit. You know what I mean? And I hope you get raped by a pack of something or others.
Well, to be fair, he didn't say that to the cop. He said that
to the cop. You're right, but all of this was oh, I was wasted drunk.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I've been drunk a lot.
That is really funny. Yes,
it's the same. It's the same. I feel like this is oh, okay, yeah, you went to rehab, got that drinking problem under control, everything's fine.
Yeah, you're yo, I'm sorry, dude. You know what happens to me? If I'm being honest, I get about 2 or 3 shots of Everclear in me, and I just think the Jews run the media. That shit, and I just scream the N-word.
Has anybody given Kanye a breathalyzer? He could just be really fucked up.
Yo, give him one of those test strips to make sure there's no fentanyl in his shit. Does fentanyl make you anti-Semitic?
Before, those things, the thing, or that you have to blow in before you can start your car? They should do that before every podcast Kanye does.
Yo, I feel like most podcasters should have that.
I agree.
As I'm crushing my Goose Island. Fucking, you should have a breathalyzer. Yo, sidebar. You know Cody Wright?
Yeah. That's what made me think of it. That's the thing. The Hall video. Yeah.
We gotta give Cody Wright a shout out. This is one of but anyway, Tilian didn't do it. That bitch is lying. Cody Wright.
Moving on. Update over.
Bro, this shit is so fucking funny to me.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh my! We don't even really need a setup. Let me just show you what Cody decided to do. This might fuck up our.
Yeah, we won't get to monetize, but who gives a fuck?
We won't be. Oh yeah, I already commented. I just said art. But for anyone listening, it says when Allin Oates comes on and you have a breathalyzer.
I wanted to see if he passed.
I think he did. I don't know if he would post it, but that is Cody Wright, Wright WRIGHT .Cody CODY on Instagram.
Hilarious dude and not a bad golfer, if I may.
Yeah, no, really funny dude. I roast battled him. Super funny. Go check out Cody Wright. That again is WRIGHT.CODY on Instagram. I don't even know if we need to like break it down. That shit was so fucking funny to me.
But if Tilian had one of those before he can go out on stage, or if maybe Kanye had one of these before each podcast, I think we'd be in a lot safer place.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. But anyway, for real though, I guess we should get back to Dance Gavin Dance. I don't know if there's anything else to say. They did post their apology on their Instagram. They were like, if the past year has taught us anything, it's that everyone handles grief differently. And Tilian is no exception. Yeah, my friend. You know how like your friend dies, you just get too handsy.
Dude, when my dad died, I remember I walked up to this lady and started fondling her tits, and I was just like, "My dad died. Just can you fucking just understand my struggle now?" That's never a coping mechanism as far as I'm concerned. I've never done that. I've never been like, oh, I mean, in the movies they do that. In the movies, I never understood that when they're just like, oh man, we almost died, or oh, thank God we're not dead, and then they just fuck. I'm just like, how can you get hard right now? Like you almost just died.
Like, I could see that actually. Yeah, I could definitely if me and Steph avoided a life or death situation,
right?
I could fucking shoot ropes, dude.
Or let's just
because do you know
best friend just died in front of you, and then you're just like, oh my God, we survived.
Well, see, I couldn't have sex because I already came.
Because I was killing my friend.
No, but for real though, you've never had like a big fight with your wife, and then you talk it out, and then you hit that point after the fight where you're like, I just love you so much. I'm sorry, we gotta be like this. Then you start hugging and you give a little kiss, and then next thing you realize you're boning.
Yeah.
Dude, sorrow could definitely lead to some sick boning.
But that is the only time, right? Like, it's not like, oh my God, my friend overdosed, so I gotta go find a fucking snatch to grab.
No, I think the most okay time is when your friend dies, and then a month later you get drunk on a Tinder date.
Right. Perfect. We all process grief differently, guys. Different. You guys wouldn't understand. They're doing all the textbook bullshit lame excuses. It's just like, anyway, the sexual misconduct is like fucking like they're just like skirting over. Sexual misconduct is not even sexual misconduct is not a big deal. It's just that like we were grieving at the time.
Yeah,
like a blur.
And just to be clear, like I was saying before, I want to believe that I want to be on Dance Gavin Dance's side so hard, but you are not putting faith in me
at all. Like 2 sentences into this statement, I'm like, what? That's how you grieve?
When Tilian opened up to us about his substance abuse problem that had spiraled in recent months, we all agreed that he needed time to reset his life to avoid tragic fate of so many artists before him. Oh, it was because of a conversation? Because it timed out real coincidentally to a Reddit post.
With that, yeah, that's weird. That coinky dink, huh? You know what I find strange to this is the tragic fate. Is that being kicked off your tour? Is that the tragic fate of so many artists before him, like Kevin Spacey? No,
I think Kevin Spacey was found innocent. He didn't do none of that. I can watch fucking House of Cards again, dude.
Wait, he was innocent?
I don't know. I heard a fucking thing and believed it because I like his movies.
Good call.
You hear that, Dance Gavin Dance? Yo, Dance Gavin Dance. Did you hear that? Did you hear how little got me on Kevin Spacey's side?
Yeah.
Fix your shit, dudes.
Yeah, come on, guys. but don't worry. Hey, Andy, don't worry. We are a resilient group who has always believed in redemption. And we have seen the hard work that Tilian.
You know what? We took a pause and thought about how hard it would be to get a new guy to be lead singer. And that's when we realized we really love redemption.
So, by the way, you're in a band with him for fucking years with these substance abuse problems. And you're like, he let us know about these problems that he was having. He's the lead singer in your band.
For a fact if he has those problems.
You never said to each other, boy, that's about 70 fucking Miller High Lifes he's in. Like, maybe maybe we should say something to him.
Nah,
Because
dude,
also he's talking to that 17-year-old over there, and
whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, it wasn't
he was
about
of
age.
age.
It wasn't about age. Get the fuck out of here,
What was it?
Patty.
Sorry, I went Warped Tour. I didn't go Dance Gavin Dance. That was my bad.
You know what? It's the genre. It was a fair guess.
You're right. You're right. I took a stab in the dark.
They're in that world. That always goes back to one of the your former employer, Hard Times. One of the greatest Hard Times tweets ever.
Yeah.
Is pop punk band has all ages, so bands' girlfriends can come to show.
Yeah.
One of the funniest fucking Hard Times tweets.
It's absolutely true. That was a that was actually the first ever real story from Hard Times. Just a little unknown fact. That was the only one that wasn't satire.
That was the first ever real story.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're a resilient group who has always believed in redemption, and we have seen the hard work that Tilian has been doing to address and overcome an issue that has plagued him for years. That's why we are welcoming back to the band. We are proud of his progress, and we look forward to seeing all of you on the road next year.
Yeah. Sure. I've heard that from John Jones before, plenty of times. You'll get it under check. Yeah, you'll get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I was saying before, I don't I don't think this was a SVU worthy incident, but there's definitely questions to be asked. There's definitely a lot of he said, she said. It's definitely a lot of confusion. And and here's the thing. It's like, there's a lot of arguments to be like, well, she doesn't owe you this. He doesn't owe you this, blah, blah, blah. But to be like, I don't know, man, it's just gotten to a certain point. And I would say there's less responsibility on the young lady. But at the same time, it's gotten to a point where it's like, all right, as a fan, I would like a little more clarity if at all possible. And then there's just kind of, it's just like I said before, there's a reason this is a thing. Right. And the heavy, what am I trying to say? Emphasis on just the alcohol problem.
Right.
Doesn't put a lot of faith in me. I want to be on Team Till. I want to be Team Till.
Yeah, dude.
But the focus on the alcohol doesn't put a lot of faith in me.
When you're saying that, when that is the only issue, because look, man, there must have been something that happened, whether it be consensual or not. I do not know, between this guy and this young lady. It is only one case, right? It is only one accusation.
Yeah. Actually, I was
not
talking.
To say only. I don't mean to say, but it's not like a
no, dude. He's not a pussy. He can fucking do numbers.
17, dude.
There was apparently, Steph was telling me, because I remember I was talking to her a bunch about it when it first happened, and then she started looking up stuff, and there was apparently another gal who claimed some shit, but I don't know a lot about that.
But like, I guess that's the situation where it's like, it's maybe just like, if it didn't happen, what didn't happen? You know what I mean? What didn't happen? And in this scenario, if I don't think there's a court case, like, as far as I know, that is he being brought up on charges and shit like that? Or is this
no, there's no court case.
So that's I guess that's the situation, is if we're not gonna get a day in court, I don't feel comfortable just going like, anyway, I was really drunk. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks for your support, guys. We're gonna be stronger next year. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
There's something else, and that there was something else. You gotta, if what she's saying didn't happen, what did happen?
Here's the thing.
At this point, if you're gonna continue to address shit, and you're gonna say, hey, I was gone. Remember when I was gone? I was drunk and shit, and it was bad, but I'm better, and I've had intense therapy. By the way, I'm no expert, Andy, but if you had a problem for years and then you went away for, quote, a few months for treatment, I don't know if a few months of treatment is like, everything's good now, back to normal. Thanks for your support.
Yeah. You've been away for that long.
There's gotta be a little bit more context given. And if it's going to be there needs to be a better statement than this.
Yeah.
There,
And
it
also,
has to be a better statement.
can I say this actually?
Please don't.
All right. So next topic.
I'm gonna mute you real quick. Hold on. Go ahead.
No, and can I say this? And this might be unpopular. But it's like for the sake of fairness, because I do. Here's my thing when like accusations like this come out is there's like heavy emphasis on the accused. You know what I mean? But then it's like there's been a lot of times where the accused is innocent, but then like the damage is done. Mm. And you can't really like undo that. Don't stroke your beard while I talk, like I'm making a good point. But like, so what was I saying before I got distracted by your beautiful fucking beard?
You were in the middle of blaming the victims. Go on.
Yeah. Why'd you wear that? No.
What were you wearing? No.
What were you wearing? Maybe you got him excited and he couldn't control himself.
He was fucking drunk. What do you expect? Like literally, that's what it feels like. I was drunk. I had her consent. It's her fault. Like kind of thing. That's what it reads because we all know about that third thing. You know?
Yeah, but no, I should say. What I was trying to get at was like for the sake of fairness, I do think like I get it. There's a different standard because he's more of a public figure. This is a fan of the band, but also at the same time, you can have a lot of times where these accusations come out on people and they end up being false, but the damage, like it's happened to football players a handful of times where some girls will come out and say some shit about these football players. You know, there was one dude, I forget his name, but it put him in jail. It put him in jail, and then he like completely missed out on playing college football, then completely missed out on possibly playing in the pros. And then once he got older, it came out that, he didn't do anything. The girl was lying. And, she robbed like a whole life from him, a whole potential career from him. And there, so I do think at the same time where it's like, I understand this isn't like, this is kind of a messy space to be in, but there should be a responsibility on like, if you're coming at someone like this and to come at them with the truth, you get what I'm saying? To come at them with something credible and this and that. So I do think there is, because there could be a degree of this where they don't want to get in too much details because they're a little bit worried about, because I'm just trying to be fair because we made we kind of like shitted on, we like kind of like we're coming at him like a lot, and I want to be fair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there is this degree where it's almost like, we have to sort of I don't know. I just wish there was I'm trying to say, I just wish there was like a better way to get the facts on the ground of like everyone's intent and this and that. And I don't know.
I know what you're talking about because, and this is the thing is he's initiating contact back with society. He is choosing to make a statement and we're allowed to have an opinion on that statement. But I understand where you're coming from in this situation. In these situations, not unlike, because of the fact that like we do have a justice system that is in place that for a lot of people is not necessarily fair or just.
Yeah.
But there are somewhat of checks and balances. If we're not going to use that situation in general, and this is the part that I've said for years, because you're right, these situations are very hairy situations to talk about. You can't really give an opinion as a male because it's one of those things that or as somebody who is of the same sex or gender as the accuser or the accused, but like there's a situation where we need to have a system in place to say like we need to have some kind of checks and balances or some kind of justice that can be put out or something like that. It can't just be an accusation is 100% true.
Yeah.
Because we know in even most murder cases, even the way some people may suggest or say that it happened isn't exactly how it happened, but it doesn't mean that they're wrong. So I'm not saying that this was her going, I had a bad date. I'm not one of those guys. And I'm not saying that he's completely innocent. I think the statement that he put out, whether how much we support him or his art, was shitty. That's you, dude. You know that there's another thing that people want you to address, and you're
Yeah,
just
you know that the alcohol is because
you're just too you're
I don't know if I said
so transparent of saying like I had a problem and I'm kind of a victim here too.
can I okay.
It's like maybe, dude, but like, dude, like
You know what I think?
Somebody took advantage of a drunk guy and said, you assaulted me when nothing happened. Something had to have happened.
Yeah.
Somewhat. And you need to address that. And you didn't even address it. So, okay. You're just going to, aside from saying nothing happened, you're not going to say anything. Maybe that is, maybe his lawyer said, don't say something about it. Maybe something like, but then in that case, just don't make a statement. Just wait until you're coming back next year. Why do you have to make a statement right now if nothing's going to happen with the band until next year?
Yeah, true.
Why do that? Why not let the story come out if it's going to come out? Or why not put a statement together? Have some, like, put some thought into this. Like, why are you just jumping a few months of treatment? I don't think if you had a serious issue for this long, is just going to be like, everything's cool.
Yeah.
It's like saying, it's how a bunch of people, anytime I had friends that had drug problems growing up, would always tell me, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to hang out with these people anymore. Every time I saw them. And it's like, oh, but you're still doing it and you're still doing all these things. Like, you don't just offer me what you think I want to hear. Actually garner a real fucking genuine statement and share that with us. Be vulnerable. You're a fucking artist, dude. If the fans have already supported you for the most part, then you already have their support. You don't have to thank them for it necessarily, but you can use that support as a way to kind of like be vulnerable, be truthful. And I don't think that's what that is. That's a very calculated statement. And as much as a fan you may be of him, I don't think that was genuine. And he doesn't have to be genuine. That's my thing. You don't have to do anything for us right now. So why would you, except for just to have people go, I don't get the meaning of this unless something's about to come out from her. And that's my call. That's what I'm calling it right now. Either something else is going to come out, like another part of this story, or he's just doing this to try to like, let me just test the waters and see.
I think they're actually timing it with the fact that they're probably not going to do shit for a little bit.
Yeah.
So like, let the fucking news on them die down.
Yeah. We've made the announcement he's back, and so we don't have to do that later on. We don't have to address that later.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. I guess that's what it is for me, because it's like I am trying to be fair, and there definitely is a bias for me since I like this band so much, but it's just like the way that they're maneuvering doesn't put a lot of faith in me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, okay, so you guys waited till you did, you got all your album sales and you did all this shit, and now tour's over. Tour just finished, and you're probably not going to do shit for a while. So now, boom, we're going to hit you with this. We're going to hit you with this message.
Get it out of the way now.
Yeah, get it out of the way right now when things are sort of dying down for us. I bet you they're not going to really do shit for a month or 2 or 3. And then, boom, we're back. And then it's kind of like you can just...
It's too manipulative.
Yeah, I'm not saying, once again, like I was saying before, it is really like a he said, she said shit. So I will I'll be sort of agnostic until you get like hard evidence. I'm just saying, doing it this way, it doesn't put a lot of faith in me.
Yeah.
I guess that's just me being honest. That's just where I'm at.
No, I think that's, and I agree with that, because it feels like this thing of like they are counting on everyone's short attention span and nobody remembering.
That's how it feels, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just feels manipulative, and it feels like, why else would you put out a statement right now? Because like you said, they're not going to be doing anything. They even say in the statement, we will see you guys next year. So even for the next couple of months.
So that's at least 2 months,
right?
And they're probably like, are they going to do shit at the very beginning of January? So it's probably like, it's 2-3 months minimum.
they'll announce something probably in
January.
January for February, March.
Yeah.
Again, to test the waters again, to be like, yeah, but what about Tilian? Isn't he? And then just to be like, we'll just keep going. And as long as shit doesn't pop off again, they're just gonna be like, cool, we'll be fine. And as long as they can book, maybe that's another thing too. Maybe they're waiting till January to start like reaching out to venues to say like, hey, we got Dance Gavin Dance to headline a tour for their latest album, which is really selling well. And then they'll just be like, and just not share the part where like Tilian's back, or and as long as the venues don't get complaints from fans or people, then it'll just go on. And then the next tour, nobody will bring it. It'll just be a weird rumor about the guy for a while, and then it'll go on. And I honestly think that that's what their intentions are. And maybe it's because Tilian is 100% innocent, and none of this actually happened.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just saying,
well, because here's
the but we trust him.
Yeah. Here's
like,
the thing. There's arguments to it. Sorry for interrupting you so often. You're the most special guy I've ever met.
Anything else?
Oh, okay. But no, it's like there are arguments for both sides of the thing. You know what I mean? Where you're like, because on one hand, you're like, okay, he got super vague when it got to the like the real bad part, or the part we've been wanting to know about. Is that because you did some shit? Like, why would you get super if you didn't do anything? Right. That's the impulse you have. You're like, if you didn't do anything, why'd you get so vague there? Right. But then on the flip side, you go and you look at the band and you go, okay, they might be not the greatest guys in the world, but also if he did some bad shit, I'm sure they would have like gotten the fuck rid of him. You know what I mean? Like if he did, like I said before, if he did some fucking SVU worthy shit, right, I'm sure it would have been an easy situation.
We hope.
I'm just saying the way that the discourse has come, as a hardcore fan who would love to fucking see them live when they come back next year.
Right.
I'm in a bit of a quandary. Yeah. Because there's too much gray area.
What if you go to the show, but you just have your back to them the whole time? You can hear it, but you can't see it.
What if I hold my hand up to block Tilian?
Yeah, you just go like this. As he's like running around and shit. You're just like,
yeah. Oh, I think that'll be fair. Just hold the hand up so I don't have to look at him.
Yeah.
But I go, you guys didn't do anything.
But if something, for some reason, if something terrible happens to his accusers, they go missing or something like that, then we have to go. Then I'm expecting something worse. But
that would
hypothetical.
That would suck, dude. If there was like a Dance Gavin Dance-esque like Clinton kill list.
Yeah, what if it or I was thinking Aaron Hernandez. I was thinking like the Patriots guy, that they were like, he's the best football player in the fucking world. And they're like, whoa, he's actually killed like 17 people. Oh no. Oh, he's a bad guy, dude. He's a bad guy.
Oh no, Tilian was gay in prison. No.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm picturing like, what if it gets worse? So either it's gonna get better or it's gonna get worse, but they've at least lost 2 fans.
Yo, dude, great breakdown. It's either gonna get better or it's gonna get worse.
Honestly, we could that's the whole episode.
How you doing? Oh, middle of the road, Pat.
Hey, at least I got his fucking name right. Like, don't ask me to name any other rappers, motherfucker. Okay?
Wait, what rappers?
The babies and the little babies.
All right, next topic. Yo, turn to the camera. Yo, you got to put your camera on your monitor because you are perfect, like 90 degrees to your left.
But if you notice this, dickhead, in the final project, I'm looking at you while you're talking, asshole.
Yeah, but the crowd wants to see
production, dickhead.
They want to see your fucking face.
I'm talking to them. I'll talk to them. Hey, hi guys, how you doing? You're over here. You're over there. I'm in a fucking box. I'm going to point at the right person.
I want to talk to them. I'll talk to them.
Hey, hi fans, listeners, drag the Lakies.
Drag the Lakers.
I honestly don't know what to call them anymore.
Lakers.
Oh, Lakers.
Yeah.
Is that taken? Hey, you guys are the Lakers now. can't wait to hear from you LA fans out there.
He said, "Is that taken?"
Anybody using that?
No one's got that, right? No one's got that,
right? Yeah.
All right.
So like purple and like green.
I want to show you one more thing, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. Pat, how do you feel about Morrissey? Yes, dude, I knew it. So this,
you know what? I'm not gonna share my feelings about artists on this goddamn channel anymore.
just don't post about it on Facebook. But no, so I saw this tweet. Shout out to one of my Twitter followers.
Election fraud.
What?
Sorry. I'm reading the other stuff on the screen.
Oh, you're looking at the trending.
God damn it.
Oh, how are the birds doing? I'm a bandwagon fan this year.
Me too. I am too.
Hell yeah, dude.
And unabashedly, I don't give a fuck. They're doing good, so I like them now.
Dude, I did a whole episode of fucking No More Heroes where I was just like, that no one likes us, we don't care. That's my shit. I love it so much.
Yeah, they stole that from hardcore and punk people, but we'll let it happen.
No, they stole it from football.
Ew, gross. Soccer?
Football.
The other one? Anyway, more
football. So basically, this tweet, this caught my eye, and I'll double check who I fucking saw share this. But it said, so Morrissey just walked off stage at the Greek Theater after 30 minutes. Apparently, he was too cold. Meanwhile, it's in the 50s. And I mean, there's nothing really to the video, to be perfectly honest, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Wait, let me turn the volume down.
Dude, that's Morrissey's stage setup. What a fucking loser.
30 minutes in, these dudes hop out. And I don't think either of them are Morrissey. I'm assuming he walked off stage and then these guys came out.
Sorry, but due to unforeseen circumstances, the show is not going to continue. I'm very sorry. We'll see you next time. Apologies.
This is my only issue, right? Is the crowd's reaction to this. Most of what I know from Morrissey is that he's a fragile bitch, dude. You know that Morrissey will not perform at a venue if there is meat on the premises.
That's what people were saying I was reading the comments. Apparently he did a fucking thing at Coachella because he smelled like hot dogs.
It was in the air. And dude, anybody that's anti-hot dog can suck my dick.
Oh yeah, dude. If you're anti-hot dog, you're anti-Andy and Pat, and we don't want fucking shit all to do with you.
There will not be a stage for you to get on to leave, my friend. You will not be welcome.
No, me and
beat your ass.
I will fuck you up. Me and Pat,
fight you, dude.
Me and Pat actually talked about it, and we're gonna put on a music festival eventually. And you are not allowed on the stage until you throat a glizzy.
It's gonna be called the No Morrissey Love Fest for Hot Dogs, and that's the charity we're starting.
Yes,
it's in your name, you fucking dickhead.
We're raising money to give underprivileged kids more hot dogs.
Exactly. And you know what? We're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it in your name. Every fucking hot dog that's the little casing that snaps open, they're gonna go, thanks, Mr. Morrissey. Thank you, Morrissey.
I forgot you could do that. You could donate shit in people's names.
Yeah, and that's honestly, I think for every time that he does this, I'm going to donate to a meat processing plant somewhere in the world, because he is such a piece of shit with this. The fact that people still buy fucking tickets to his show, but I don't understand why. I guess I don't understand. Like it's unless they're going to see the disaster. It's kind of like how you go to see Gigi Allin back in the day when he was still alive. Now he's he's way less entertaining now.
See, I don't succumb to the Gigi Allin hype, but I would rather go see a Gigi Allin show over a Morrissey show any day of the week.
Dude, when Gigi Allin is a more professional performer than you are, when they've got a better track record to showing up to shows and all he does is drink piss and fuck whiskey bottles
and just try to fight anyone who's near him.
Yeah,
who's near him.
Yeah, he at least, and he's way more engaged with his fans. He treats Gigi Allen treated his fans better than fucking Morrissey treats his fans now.
Oh, dude, is Gigi Allen a better artist and a better fucking musician than Morrissey?
He was a more responsible one, that's for sure. He showed up to every fucking gig and stayed late. He met with the fans. I saw his last show. He went home with a fan somewhere. He's just walking down the street, just walking away.
He was so devoted to the fans that he asked them for a fucking place to live.
Yeah, a lot.
He was so devoted
Or
that
told them.
He was so devoted that after the show he would stand out front and beg for food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and guess what? And that's interacting with your fan base, friend. That's how you get long-term fans. Morrissey, it's the Smith appeal, obviously. I was never a huge fan of the Smiths. I'm not a huge fan of Morrissey. But when it's this kind of fucking baby behavior, like this shit, like it's so obnoxious, dude. This frustrates legitimately. The way that people still buy tickets to Morrissey's shows, bothers me the same way that people have been saying that Kanye is a genius for years.
Yeah,
it's the same thing of like this, like he's just a big fucking weird baby artist guy. Like
it's starting to feel like fuck, what was it? There was a thing recently where you get these certain crowds that enjoy certain type of art and they get really up their own ass, and it's either one of two things. It's either like, oh, did you find out that such and such thing was good? Oh, who are you? A person with fucking eyes and ears? Right. Like Rick and Morty fans are the worst for that. And I know, to be fair, hardcore fans of anything are
worst,
pretty brutal, but I will say, like, Rick and Morty fans annoy me the most because they feel like they're in this like hip exclusive club, and it's like, you know who likes Rick and Morty? Anyone who's watched Rick and Morty. You know what I mean? And it's like, that kind of shit bothers me. I'm trying to think of an example of people who are like, oh, I think, did we talk about this with Taylor Swift? We talked about this. Yeah, right. We talked about Taylor Swift a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was that shit with Taylor Swift where people start breaking down Taylor Swift and like realizing, like, breaking down why she's bad and why she's not that great. And it's like, you just didn't realize you just fucking snitched on yourself, letting everyone know you're a basic bitch because you think Taylor Swift is up here when it comes to art. And I'm not trying to be fucking pretentious. I just think that's the reality. Well, all respect to T Swift. When you got your fucking bangs, it did something to my libido. I love you.
Right.
But respectfully, that shit is fucking entry-level middle school music.
Yeah.
If you're a fucking adult talking about, so that's like this, it goes back to your point about like fucking Kanye, where it's just like, if you think Kanye's a genius, if you think Morrissey's like this big fucking deal, you're kind of like snitching on yourself for being like, I'm a little bit of a fucking starter pack of a human being.
Kind of a mark. I'm a real fucking mark when it comes to entertainment, and I'll just kind of do
Falls Count Anywhere. Get it every week on Baby Mermaid Productions.
If I may, thank you very much for that. If I may, and this is a hot take, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody, I truly am. But it's much like the chicken man. Whatever that fucking chicken guy that's eating a rotisserie chicken every day for 40 days, and then he did it live on a pier somewhere in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And a ton of people showed up. And I'm like, man, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like this thing of like, I what do you expect? Like, what are you going to remember that? No,
I will say this about the Chicken Man thing. I do think they actually, because here's the thing, you can never figure out the right time to stop anything.
Yeah.
And I do think because I was talking, Lemaire and Jabri actually went to that.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's a
perfect
example.
Known basic bitches.
Right. Guys that'll kind of go to anything.
Just to not be alone with their thoughts. But
I know
no, I
those
will.
brothers. Those brothers will go to the opening of anything.
I
You
will
know what I'm
get.
saying?
I was feeling. Yeah, Jabri's bisexual and very horny.
Loves loves any hole. He'll take.
Loves any hole, loves getting dick in his mouth, and I respect him for it.
Yeah,
But
me too.
I will say this about the Chicken Man because I was feeling the same way, but then I did have to give him respect because he's like not doing it anymore
Right.
because it was teetering on becoming like the worst because people were showing those pictures and like you'd get some random fuck from some other fucking state and he'd be like, they should hang this up in a museum, and you're like, all right, it's dumb now.
Yeah,
It's
you
fucking
can't.
dumb now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Is like it's this when it became people cheering a guy eating chicken on a pier. I go like, you guys, this is not a thing.
Well, it's when it transitions over to like this weird, vague irony to like genuine, like, let's fucking go when it becomes like, this isn't cool anymore.
Well, it was, but
and we talked about it earlier in the episode.
Cool.
We talked about it earlier in the episode. Pat and Andy, kings of cool.
Kings are cool. Yeah,
Kings are cool.
You need hot dog aficionados. We're the guys. If you need what's cool with hip hop and other things, it's me. I am the mecca. But if you're talking about who's eating chicken, you know what I mean? There's way more entertaining chicken eaters out there. But I just overall, I think when the spectacle, like you said, when the spectacle becomes the thing that people are buying tickets to, then you realize there's no substance. There's no substance to what's happening.
Well, then it becomes
you really just paid $40 to be a part of a moment.
Well, I don't think they paid for that, but I get the point you're making.
No, not that. I'm saying, but I'm back in the Morrissey or the Kanye thing.
Like you
know that there's going to be a train wreck somewhere, so you're like, that's kind of why you go. So most of those, but that's what I'm saying is in that clip, the most frustrating thing is people going, what? Huh? It's like everybody should have gone, yeah. Honestly, it should have been the whole crowd going, yeah, that's what we thought. We figured.
Yeah, I get. Does Morrissey have like a history of doing this? Because that
every time, like I said.
I'll say this for musicians, and I say this from having some experience too.
Because some experience like a fucking musician. You're a comedian, you fucking loser. I not act like a musician.
From some experience playing in bands and stuff. Because like legitimately, I remember doing a show where we did a show in the middle of the winter in Easton, PA called like the Red Bull Rail Jam. And like weren't getting fucking paid for it, just doing it for fucking exposure. Actually paid a dude because they didn't even have a fucking PA system. You know what I'm saying? And like I would get mad at Jay Simpson, funny dude in Philly. Check him out. Well, he's been on the show. Well, no, anyway. Jay Simpson, known alcoholic. He
known alcoholic father.
I would get mad at him if he would talk too long, because if he talked too long and we weren't playing, my hands would get too cold to fucking feel. You know what I mean? So it's like when I see that, because I think the standard, it just this fucking behavior just drives me fucking crazy. It goes back to, were we talking to Andy Kaufman on or off the air? I can't remember.
On.
But on?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was saying like with Andy Kaufman, where it's like he's funny in the idea, but then when it gets to the actual like, yo, dude, we paid to be here. Put on a fucking show. And it's just like these fucking artists where it's like, and I'm not trying to say I always like to, I don't try to shit on people just because they have like more money and like a more fun job. Like you're not allowed.
No Gigi Allin.
Yeah, right. Like you're just because you got more money than me and you got a more fun job than me, you're still allowed to have a bad fucking day. But also at the same time, you're fucking playing music for a living. Put a goddamn fucking Carhartt on and sing the fucking song, dude. Like, bro, here's how I look at it. Once you walk out onto that stage, unless something is like threatening your life or physically making it like, okay, perfect example. I saw Enter Shikari at Warped Tour, and they're a heavily electronic band, and they had one or two of their electronic devices that they used to play the songs wasn't working. So because those two devices weren't working, it immediately cut out like most of their fucking songs that they could play.
Yeah.
So they were like, yo, so they played one or two. Oh yeah. I remember they played like a song or two where it worked, and then it stopped working. So they were like, fuck, they tried to get it working. It couldn't get working. And then they were like, what other songs can we play? And they played about 2, maybe 3 other songs. And then they were like, guys, we're really sorry. We literally like, if these aren't working, we can't play any of our fucking songs. Right. So they were like, we're sorry. We can't do anything. So we're going to fucking leave early. We're really fucking sorry. Like, if it's a thing that can't, like, you physically can't play the fucking songs, I get it. But if you're just like a little chilly, fuck off.
Yeah, it's not, because like you said, if that's up to you. If you're not moving around, if you're not performing, then you're not going to warm up. It's like a again, it's like that kind of thing of like saying, well, I'm cold because I'm not performing. Like, okay, well, it also kind of looked like maybe that venue was like maybe about half sold.
Well, also,
do you know what I mean? Like, because that could have been another reason. Like, maybe maybe there wasn't enough body heat in the room. You know what I mean? So it
also, well, I was also seeing people too try to be like, it was at a really high elevation. I don't care. Then sing badly for real.
Why'd you accept the show? What's going on?
Fucking badly then. I don't know. This shit fucking annoys me, man. Because it's just like I don't know. You got a lot of hardworking fucking people. They want to get they pay for your fucking ticket. Play your fucking show, dickhead.
The Enter Shikari thing is a good comparison, but it's also like that was a Warped Tour, so like there were other options and there were other places that they could go, like people could go. But if you bought, like, I know a lot of times for most Warped Tours, there's like a handful of bands that I really wanted to see, and if one of them weren't able to perform, I think I would be upset, but I wouldn't be like, if it was technical difficulties, or even if there was like, hey, our bus was broke down, we didn't make it, so we can't perform here, sorry, you know what I mean, like, or like our equipment malfunctioned, was stolen. A lot of these have always have happened, but almost always I see these posts about from bands, and by the time I go to see them, they have fixed the problem. They said, all right, we found some equipment that we can use, we did this, we've altered this, we'll play acoustic, we'll do whatever. And every time, like you said, they made it happen. I think this was just an excuse from Morrissey for being a prima donna, but at this point, it's not a surprise. So like, I don't think that there's any issue with the temperature. I don't think there's any issue with necessarily even meat. He's a very staunch vegetarian. Also, there's some weird, like, I think he has some not crazy. He has some not so popular political views, I think, also. But he's very, very militant in a lot of the shit that he does. Yeah. It's almost like what's the whaling boat? He reminds me, he has like that kind of energy. The Sea Shepherd. He has Sea Shepherd energy. The Sea Shepherd, you know, the whaling boats that attack, the boats that go out and attack whaling boats.
Oh yeah, very familiar.
Like, really? It was a show. You didn't watch that show? It's a bunch of fucking crunchy ass hippies on the boat.
What the fuck are you whaling boat facts?
You don't know that?
Oh, Whale Wars, right?
Yeah. You know.
No, I don't know what that is.
But it's that's Morrissey is like the Sea Shepherd of arts and entertainment. Like, he's the guy that's like, he will at any cost make it awkward, uncomfortable, dangerous, or whatever for anybody else in the name of his cause. Whether it be, I'm uncomfortable, I don't like meat, you should stop doing this, are you smoking a cigarette, I don't like it. I mean, like, it's one of those things. At this point, dude, I really do think he's just hurting himself. But I am very frustrated with all those people in that crowd, because come on, man, you bought a fucking ticket to Morrissey.
You went to see Morrissey. What is wrong with you?
Right.
I also think too,
he's no Gigi Allin.
No. Morrissey's no Gigi Allin. I
think
agree.
That was the best point I had in this whole thing. He is not nearly as professional a performer as Gigi Allin.
Without a doubt. Not even close.
Not a doubt.
No, I will also say this. The type of person that Morrissey comes off as, of just like, you know, like the fucking cool guy hipster that's fucking, you know, way more you know, he tries to be like sort of the what am I trying to say? Like the off the beaten path, avant-garde, fucking misunderstood. tormented artist and blah blah blah.
I
And
can't
it's
just be bought and sold. You don't understand.
but it's like in actuality, it's just like, no, you're the snobby sweet 16 fucking rich crybaby bitch. That's what you are.
Yeah, you're damn bridezilla all up in here.
Yeah, dude, you're literally what you think you hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that's the part that drives me the fuck crazy about this shit. It's like, no, you're not even like, I know you're joking about not a lot of people were in that crowd, but there's like easily minimum a couple hundred, potentially a few thousand, depending on where this is. It's at the Greek Theater. I'm sure you got a good turnout. There's probably like a couple hundred to a few thousand.
Right.
And it's like, you're not even going to take 2 seconds to consider these people. Yeah, you're not going to take 2 seconds to like be considerate to these people. Right. You know what I mean? You're being an elitist snob. Fuck off.
Right. And he doesn't give a shit about like, and that's the overall arcing theme that I've noticed from him, is he just doesn't care what people think about him, which is admirable, but at the same time, it's just infuriating to no fucking end.
Well, there's a difference between like, if you don't care what people think, but then you just do shitty things, it's like you should care. But then it's like there's there's also not caring. There's also like not caring what people think, and then doing things people like.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the difference. He's being severely unlikable. So it's like, I don't know. He just fucking sucks, dude.
And honestly, you're better off than if he came out and performed. So just consider yourself lucky that you didn't have to hear that bullshit dribble garbage shit that he's been playing over and over and over and over and over and over for like 50 fucking years. Just go see Kiss.
Go see Kiss, dude.
You want to see a bunch of old fuckers playing the same songs over and over and over again? Go see fucking Kiss. Go pay $100,000 to see Bruce Springsteen. I don't care. Like, just fucking go. Literally, there's a ton of old fuckers that you can go see that are gonna show up and on a performance, no matter what the fucking elements are. So I've heard a lot of shitty things about Gene Simmons, but I haven't heard about him coming. It's too cold.
That's a good point. Gene Simmons, because that dude fucking loves money. He'll always put on a goddamn show for you
every fucking time, dude. And I am not even a Kiss fan. I don't give a fuck. But I would pay to see Kiss 100 times out of 100 over Morrissey.
Hell yeah. And that's a good place to end it. GG Allin rules. Fuck Morrissey. I've been Andy. He's been Pat. Thank you for hanging out with us. See you next week. We love you all. Be about it. Peace.